Hello integrators. Uh, in this video, I am going to demonstrate how Integrately supports outgoing webhooks now. So if you go to apps, you will search API, and the same app that supports webhooks as trigger, it now supports outgoing webhooks as actions. So the use case is we will catch an incoming webhook. I will use Postman to send a webhook to Integrately. We will create company in Company Hub in the second step, wherein we will not be using the built-in Company Hub connector. Okay, so we will use the outgoing webhooks to create a company, then create a contact in Company Hub, and then finally create a deal in Company Hub. So what other thing is we will associate this company with the contact created in the next step, and in the last step we will associate company and contact with the deal. So this is the use case. As usual, I will find the webhook application because I am using webhook to receive data, and the next step will be again webhook because I will be using outgoing webhooks to send data out of Integrately. So let's choose this, and now while choosing the action, we will have to go to document API documentation of the app that we are trying to integrate with. Okay, so let's go to API documentation of Company Hub. So a lot of documentation, but we will be focusing on creating records. So let's move to create record. So they have given a request. Uh, let's see what this grocery means, like definition, headers, and body, response, and all. So here it is post, so that's why we will just choose post here for now. Then go. We will use builder because we want to add more steps to it. So let's start with webhook URL. We will copy it, go to Postman. Then we will paste this URL. Okay. So this is a sample data that I will be sending to this webhook, wherein the name will be used as a contact's name, email will be contact's email ID, the company will be this, and requirement will be used to create a deal, and the budget will be the deal amount. So let's send this. Success. Now let's again go back to this, that we have sent a test record and test connection. So now it's successful, and so it's fetching, like beautifying the results. Yes, we have got the results. Now we will rename this step to a better one, like as the flow suggested, to create a company in Company Hub. It helps to identify what app we are using and what step we are performing if we are using multiple same steps. Save it. The title has just changed. Now there are this is outgoing webhooks form, wherein we have to fill in some information. So first is URL. Now let's see what is URL, what is query string parameters, what are headers, what is the data, and what these three inputs mean. So I have a basic information on this, like URL is anything that you type in the browser. So it can also include API URLs that the documentation tells us. So for example, if you go to Company Hub API documentation, this is the URL. Let's go back to this documentation. So what are query parameters? So anything that appends the URL with a question mark sign can be treated as a query parameter. So in this case, source is equal to Chrome is a query parameter. And what are headers? So headers can be like this: content type, authorization. There are many headers, but mostly if you are integrating with other apps, So it will be like content type, authorization, then there are accept, kind of headers. The headers tell the app on like what responses to accept and how to give an output and etc. How to do authentication, all these kind of things. Okay. So next is body, or we call it payload in technical terms. So body can be in JSON data. So JSON body can be like this. And there is other type like form URL encoded body, wherein you are just submitting a form. So name is equal to John Doe. This is form URL encoded body. We will see another type of body, which is XML. We are not supporting it right now. So when we will support it, we will again do a video on that. So let's go back to Integrately. So these are the same things. If you have URL, you can add it here without query parameters, because query parameters are handled separately. You can still add them here. But the problem is they need to be encoded properly. So if you add them here, it will be properly automatically encoded by Integrately. So we will add headers here, then data here. So let's go to documentation of Company Hub. So what is post? So post uh, suggests that something is being created or updated in the app. So we want to create a company, so that's why I chose post request from the webhook application. So let's start integrating with Company Hub. So I will copy this URL, and we want to create company in Company Hub. So I will replace the table name with company. We don't have any query parameters, so I will just remove it. Then in headers, we will go back to headers, authorization, request authorization. Then we'll take this content type. Uh, the content type value is constant. Now in authorization, we will need our company of subdomain and company of API key separated by a small space in those. So let's go to Company Hub settings, integrations, API integration. Then we have subdomain. Don't worry, I am showing my API key here because I will invalidate this after this video. So I added my subdomain here. I will go fetch my so in data. Now, if you go to documentation, the body says first name, last name. So it's an example body wherein we know that first name and last name are the fields in this particular table. So for company, let's go to fields of company table and go to customize. To see the fields, we can go to table. Company table. So we have these fields. So these are the names of fields that we can use. So we will just use name for now. So let's go here and name, map company on this. Now payload type, we will default to JSON, unflatten. So if you don't understand what these settings are, so payload type is just the body type that we discussed earlier. So there are JSON body and form URL encoded body. Company app supports JSON body. That's why I'm choosing payload as JSON. What is unflatten? So for now, this is a beginner video. We will do an advanced video. Until then, we can keep unflatten as yes and wrap request in array as no. Okay, so let's test this request. So the text is successful. So it should create a company in company hub. So let's go to company hub. Uh, yes, so Terminator LLC is created. Okay, so that was the company. Now let's add a new step after this, which will create a contact and associate that contact to this company. Right, so we will add a new app. We will say I want to create a post call again. Let's rename it first to understand it better. Okay. Now again it's asking us for the URL. So let's copy this again. Now this time the table that we want to create a record in is contact. So we will just add the contact. We don't need any string query string parameters. So removing that. In headers we had content type. Wherein we wanted to add the subdomain separated by the subdomain and the API key separated by space. So let's go in the previous step to copy that. Copy in data. So we will say name of the contact. So again, we know in company hub name is a standard field, so that we can directly associate name to name field. Then other fields, we will go to the fields in company hub for contact table. So there is name, we can use email and then company. So it's now we don't want to assign this name to this company here. We want to use the contact that we the company that we created in second step. So let's add it here. Okay. In payload type we can see JSON, begin, unflattened, yes, request, no. Let's test this. So if we go to contact, John Connor is the contact which is assigned to Terminator LLC that we created earlier. Now what we will do is we will add a new step again and create a deal. So I think there are no deals in my account. Okay, so let's go and add a new step. I want to do post call. Let's rename it to something better. So the URL we will copy again. So we don't need query parameters. So I'm just removing the query parameters for tables. I have to add the So we will just go back to previous step and copy this because the app is saying you can copy that. Now in data, let's go to see what fields are available in deal table. So as usual, there is name field and we will use company contact. We'll add stage also and amount. Okay. Name is we will create a name, right? So we will concat company name slash whatever requirement was coming through the incoming webhook. So for contact, we will use step 3. For company, use step 2 because we created it. Step 2. Then stage field. And then amount. Amount will be this budget. Yeah. Payload is this one. Again, I'm cutting this. So test is successful. So let's go and see. So a new deal with company name dash requirement is created and associated with the company and contact that we created in earlier step with the amount and all. With the help of outgoing webhooks, you will be able to integrate with the apps that integrately currently doesn't have. Okay, so you will be able to send webhooks to other applications. So let's go and see what methods are available again. Okay, so I will choose webhook. Again, webhook. So these are the actions that are available. Get, so you can fetch records from this. Post, mostly used to create and update records. Put, mostly used to update records. Delete, used to delete records on other apps. And custom request is when you want to do an advanced request which is not supported by any of the 4 above. So you will use custom request when you want to create your own body to um, send to a different application that you want to integrate, or it might be using some different format that integrated doesn't yet support. So you can use custom request to send that particular request. Thank you.